Hello. It's after 9 o'clock at night because it was a different sort of day. I actually left the house. I got out to go grocery shopping today. I went that way. I went north. I was so tempted to go south because I wanted to do my grocery shopping at the big store, Wegmans. Wegmans has a fantastic seafood department. They have a lot of gluten-free items. It's just a little bit of a nicer store than the other stores in town. Okay, I could go to this Wegmans over here, or go out to that one that's by the Joann's and the Michaels and the Savers and the Hobby Lobby. And I was like, nope. I did pretty well with sales, Etsy sales in April, but now with Easter only being a few days away, my butter lamb sales are going to dry up. I have paid for a lot of summer and fall shows already. And I've got another one. The registration for Street Fest is supposed to open up April 28th. That's going to be another $150 registration fee. So at this point, I'm just like, try to avoid any unnecessary expenses because the spreadsheet is still in the red from all these extra expenses for the fall. Just hold off. So I went to the closer store, only bought groceries and light bulbs because the pantry had a burnt out light bulb, and it was like that for like 3 days. I'd still go and hit the light switch every time I'd go to get something. Oh yeah, not working. Oh yeah, not working. So now all is well in the world. We have light. There was one lamp in the living room that we very rarely use that did not have a light bulb in it because we had taken the light bulb from that to put in another lamp. So now all of the lights have bulbs. All is right in the world. And I did not spend anything on yarn today. How long can I go like this? I'm getting a few holes in these shelves because I've been taking yarn from these shelves to work on some projects. I'll show you that with tomorrow's freebie of the day. It's done today, but I'm going to save it for tomorrow. I'm just going to show you yesterday's freebie of the day for today. I'm going to save something for tomorrow. Okay. As you have heard me say multiple times before, I have been looking for my crocodile pattern. I still haven't found it. My hopes is, as I'm going through all my folders and things, looking for these freebie of a day, that it's going to jump right out and bite me. But when I was looking for a pattern, I went to amagaroom.com and I searched for crocodile. And I found this little guy. Okay. He looks small. He looks like he's not going to be about yay big. Well, it's one of those things where they made it with the 2.0 hook. I made it with 3.75. So he's a wee bit bigger. I sort of like him. He's got a scarf. Because, as you can see, if I get you close enough there, in all the pictures, he's wearing a shirt. And he has sleeves on his arm. Nowhere in this pattern is there any note about change color to the shirt now. So by the time I realized that I should have changed color for the shirt, I was already probably up to about here on the body, and had already made the arms in the body color. So I decided that since he was wearing clothes in the picture, I could not leave him totally naked. So I did a foundation double crochet until I ran out of this orange yarn. And now he has a nice little scarf. Ooh, that's what happens when you hold him by his tail. Okay, hold by a leg so he's not flopping over backwards. I probably could have done better with the embroidery on his head and on his tail. Embroidering little stitches is not my strong suit. But I'm pretty happy with the way he turned out. Oh, I was going to tell you about my day. Okay, so I told you. I woke up way too early. I woke up before 6. It's like, okay, I'm not getting back to sleep. I guess I'm up for the day. And then by 9:30 or so, I was out the door to do my shopping. Got back around 11:30. Got the car unloaded, got the groceries put away, had some lunch, settled into my chair for my Friday tradition, the Hawaii 5-0 marathon. Now, I don't know how much longer I'll be able to keep this up because the signal for that station comes from the south, and at this end of the house we have a lot of trees. There's a forest between us and the next neighbor over, and once those trees get fully into leaf, we start having problems getting signals for stations that are broadcasting for the south. Yeah, we only have broadcast TV. We don't have cable. And we don't have a smart TV. So I can't like pull stuff up on YouTube and cast it to the TV. So during the summer, there's some stuff we just can't watch. So I'm getting in my Hawaii 5-0 fix while I can. Well, the one at noon and the one at 1 o'clock were new episodes to me. The one at 1 o'clock, I was falling asleep as I was watching it. Like, oh, I'm so tired. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. But that's how I was at that point. I was just like, I can't stay awake. I managed to get through to the end of the episode, find out what happened. The next show at 2 and the one at 3 were ones that I'd already seen. And I remembered, oh yeah, I remember this one. Okay, I'm not going to watch this one. So I just turned the TV off, pulled the blankets up, kicked back in my chair, and I had about an hour's nap. Then I was doing some crocheting on my freebie of the day until the 4 o'clock show. Then I turned that one on. Then I had to make dinner and clean up after dinner. And then we watched Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy and Star Trek. And I finished up today's freebie of the day. And then I came back here. So it hasn't been a really productive day, but I feel like it was a day of accomplishment with getting my shopping done and just finishing up one project, doing a little bit of work on another, and getting some much needed rest. It was up to 60-something degrees today. I didn't bring water back. What am I going to learn? So, in the Buffalo area, and you know what that means? That means people break out t-shirts and shorts. Not me, though. I still wore long sleeves today. And it was sort of chilly in the house. We probably should have opened like all the windows when it got up about 68 degrees and warmed up the house. But it was a paid pattern, and I'm trying to keep these freebie of the day. If this seems really choppy, it's because I've had to edit out a bunch of stuff. Apparently, recording after 9 o'clock at night, I'm yawning a lot and I'm coughing a lot, and I'm trying to get as much of it as possible out of the video. I should have brought water back. So I think I do know what I'm going to be doing for a May challenge. I just have so much little scraps of yarn out in my crochet cart. So I think May is going to be like a scrap down month, trying to clean up all these little scraps on my crochet cart. And I probably should have a lot of smaller stuff for my craft show that is in the middle of May. The previous show that I did with this organizer, I sold some big ticket items. But that was right in the heart of town where more people could walk to it. And this show is a little bit more on the outskirts of town. But it's a fundraiser and there's a chicken barbecue. I don't know. We shall see. We shall see how this goes. And I do have a possible lead on an occasional farmer's market that's only a couple miles from my house. There's a farm that wants to see if they can do a little farmer's market on their property the hours that they're open on Saturday. And they're asking for local crafters and other vendors to come and be part of it. So it's very early in the organizational phases. Don't know if it's going to happen, but if it does, I told them I'd be willing to show up. And they're the farm that has this adorable Highland cow named James. And he's a miniature Highland cow. He's not going to get this really huge, scary looking. He's just a little guy, and he's so friendly. And I made a little orange Highland cow for them so that James could have a little cow that looks like him. So I said, oh, if this does go through, I'm going to have to make a bunch of little orange Highland cows so that I can sell those at James's house. Okay. I think this is going to be just a little bit shorter than usual tonight because it's late. I'm sort of tired. And I still have to edit and make up my list of which, well, I only have one pattern link. Just this guy. Oh. If you were to pull up Cute Crocodile Amigurumi pattern from Amigurum, it's like amigurumi, but you leave the final I off, .com. There's one, other than the fact that they don't tell you when to change colors for the shirt. When you're working on the tail, where did that go? The tail is missing a row because it has you increase like one single crochet between your increases, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. And it goes from 18 to 24. 4 single crochets increase times 3, you've got 18. The next row says 5 single crochets increase times 3, 24. 18 plus 3 is 21. You've got to add one more row in with 6 single crochets between the increases to get you up to the 24 that you're supposed to have. I'm so glad that this did have the stitch counts at the end, because that helps to catch, like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. So that is the one. If you print out this pattern and you want to make this, you have to watch out for the missing row in the tail. What should I make tomorrow? Have I made a cat yet? I don't know if I've had a cat in my... I could look it up on my blog post. I have a blog post where I put all of them so far. Today's a horse. I was working on a horse today. I made a dog. Made a dinosaur. I made a duck. I don't remember a cat. So maybe I will look through my cat folder and see what I can come up with for tomorrow. Okay. It is time for me to sign off for the night and see if I can squeeze in a little bit more playing with yarn before it's time for bed, and hope that I can sleep past 6 o'clock tomorrow. I don't know. I wake up and it's like, oh, the sun's shining in. Okay, I'm awake. I'm up. I saw a meme on Facebook that says, I don't want to sleep like a baby. I want to sleep like my husband. He has no problem staying asleep once the sun's up. He's up. He doesn't get up till he wants to. I used to be able to do that, but as I got older, it's just I just don't sleep as well. So I'm getting quite a bit better at napping, though. Yes, I'm becoming a professional napper. And with that, I will say goodbye.